How unusual for Will, a guy who, I mean, on that kind of stage to do something so insane.
Absolutely.
It's totally out of character.
It's not him whatsoever.
Will Smith just can't catch a break as his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, keeps airing out their marital problems after she revealed that not only is Will Smith acting for movies, but also for their marriage to the public.
My honest opinion about that is that narrative had more to do with the false narrative that I helped to create on the red table.
So poor Will because of the
adulterous wife.
Yeah.
Who forced him to go to the table and sit there, you know what I mean? And now look at what she's done. She has the power with an eye roll to make him go up and slap somebody on stage.
This has left the entire internet in more shock than when Jada admitted to her affair with singer August Alsina. Things have only gotten worse from there and have been like this since 2016, according to Jada Smith. But what is the reason for Jada's airing out all of their disturbing business? And what exactly was Will Smith's reaction to her online antics? In a recent interview with Jada Pinkett Smith on an NBC News primetime special with Hoda Kotb, she revealed that the two of them have since been divorced in 2016, even though they haven't gone through the legal system to do so. Since then, the two have been putting up a front to the public's eye to seem like a perfect couple.
That in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
right,
but it was a divorce.
By the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying.
Which has sent everyone in for a dramatic twist of events. But that was still just the start of the interview, as things still got a little more hot when Jada continued to air out the whole marriage. She explained why this information hadn't gotten out to the public sooner, saying they weren't ready yet and that the two were still trying to figure things out between the two and how to be in partnership, which made it a whole lot weirder since the two had been together for a whopping 26 years before making the decision to split in 2016. The two really had all that time and couldn't decide if they really understood each other. Seems a bit strange to me, but people have their reasons. It's just up to them to spill it, but sooner or later, we will get the truth. This interview still did not stop there, as Jada continued to spill more and more of their marital problems, and from here on, things started to get messy. As Jada continued the interview, she revealed why the two even split in the first place, stating, "I think by the time we got to 2016, we just got exhausted with trying." She continued, "I think that we were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be." This left the internet in utter chaos, because the so-called perfect couple was not so perfect. Keep in mind, they decided to split in 2016, just 2 years after J. Cole released No Role Models Talk About Bad Timing. But the question that everyone has now is, why are they not divorcing yet? I mean, the two already agreed to split in 2016, didn't they? Well, according to Pinkett, she expressed that she just couldn't officially divorce Will Smith. The reason is, she didn't want to break her promise with Will, saying, "Made a promise, and I haven't been able to break that promise." This whole thing is just one big train wreck, and the fact that she wants to keep something that isn't working going is absolutely crazy. But let's rewind a bit, because in this interview, Jada touches on a topic that got Will Smith into a bit of a pickle with comedian Chris Rock.
What is going on? Now, first of all, I'm really shocked because, mind you, I'm not there. We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time. But I'm like, what is going on right
keep
now?
my wife's name
out of your mouth, right? And I'm like, but now I'm really worried for Will because I don't know what's going on.
Because what we thought was a courageous act turned out to be the complete opposite after this interview, and kind of made things a bit weird. Because during the 94th Academy Awards on March 27, 2022, Will Smith smacked Chris Rock for making a joke about his wife Pinkett Smith for being bald.
On Oscar night 2022, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock after Chris made a crack about Jada's hair.
But Jada revealed that what Will did was not necessary by saying, "I thought this is a skit." I was like, there's no way that Will hit him.
Bothered you. You did an eye roll.
Right. Yeah, and I did that eye roll not so much for me, and I think this is really important, but the fact that there could be a jab at alopecia.
It wasn't until Will started to walk back to his chair that I even realized it wasn't a skit. Jada was so in shock by what Will had did that night and asked if he was okay.
Now I'm really worried for Will because I don't know what's going on.
In a post on Instagram following the Oscars, Smith called his behavior unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. He wrote, "I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness." Smith added in his post that violence in all forms is poisonous and destructive. He also included in his note an apology to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees and everyone watching around the world, as well as the family of tennis stars Venus and Serena Williams, and those involved with the film for which he won his Best Actor award on Sunday. "I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us," he wrote. "I am a work in progress." Some felt that this apology was satisfactory and felt it was time to move on. Others weren't as moved and wondered why Will made that on Instagram. Regardless of whether it was good or not, the Academy was doing an investigation into things and was yet to render a verdict until Will forced the issue himself. Will and Jada have dealt with lots of gossip about their marriage over the years, often sticking together and pushing back against the rumors. In fact, just a year before they secretly took a break, Will slammed divorce rumors with a passionate message on social media. "Under normal circumstances, I don't usually respond to foolishness because it's contagious," he wrote in a 2015 Facebook post. "But so many people have extended me their deepest condolences that I figured, what the hell? I can be foolish too. So in the interest of redundant repetitious over and over again, Jada and I are not getting a divorce. I promise you all, if I ever decide to divorce my queen, I swear I'll tell you myself." The couple only fessed up to a short break during their 2020 Red Table Talk episode, where they talked about Jada's past relationship with August Alsina, calling it an entanglement at the time. Why did Jada, who has a son, Jaden, and a daughter, Willow, with Will, wait until now to confirm they aren't romantically involved anymore? I think just not being ready yet," said the actress, who talks about her split with the Oscar-winning actor in her soon-to-be-published memoir, Worthy. "Still trying to figure out between the two of us how to be in partnership. Like, how do we show that to people? We hadn't figured that out." Because this interview was a little random, it left the people outraged with what was to come from this. A fan said, wait, so why did Mrs. Jada Pinkett Smith stay quiet when Will's whole career was dying over him defending her name? I'm sorry, she's so trash to me for this goofy." Another said, "At this point, Will Smith should just give Jada Pinkett the divorce she wants, Cosman. Every time she talks, I lose respect for the man, and now I have none left." And no way Will Smith ruined his career and publicly embarrassed himself for his wife to say this. As if all of this hadn't been enough, Will's acting career came under fire. Multiple reports stated that various studios, as well as streamers like Netflix, had put a halt on any productions that Will Smith had been involved in at that time. For Netflix, he had been working on a crime boss thriller named Fast and Loose, in which he was to star. He had also been working with them in a production capacity and was producing certain sequels like Bright 2. Moreover, recall that his Bad Boys franchise was set to get a fourth film after Bad Boys for Life had done really well at the box office, but then, well, it was placed on hiatus even though pages of the script had been shown to Smith just days before everything went down. So why did this all happen like this? At that moment, Will Smith, despite winning Best Actor, was radioactive. If people had rushed to hire him for projects, it would have come off as hypocritical because he hit someone and initially didn't even get punished for it. And while he was doing self-imposed exile, that didn't mean that it was right for him to jump right back into making movies and shows and such. To be clear, Will Smith, barring him retiring or something else coming to light, was likely going to make movies and TV shows again, but for then, he was on notice in more ways than one. Yeah, the whole internet is outraged by Jada's actions towards Will Smith, and some have even called it a betrayal, because as a wife, you're supposed to respect your significant other, through better or for worse, and that's one promise that Jada Pinkett Smith can't seem to keep. But let us know what you guys think of this whole monstrosity that's to unfold between Jada Smith and Will Smith. Do you think the two will finally officially divorce? Do you think this whole ordeal has made this Chris Rock slap incident a whole lot more embarrassing for Will Smith? And if so, how do you think Chris will respond to this entire mess? Let us know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and if you did enjoy this video, watch this one next.